Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gen V Season 2 review series. I'm the Kool-Aid Man, Trasnell, and I'm joined by...
Bunker Taylor Field.
Yes, Legion, we are back. Kind of crazy. We only got the penultimate next week and then finale, so we're almost done. So you can go back and listen to. We've been reviewing all of Gen V. Thank you to everyone that's been listening. Lots of good stuff on the feeds right now. Peacemaker's ending this week, and then also, like I said, Gen V's on its way to end. But then just in a couple weeks, we'll be starting you and me again, just like Gen V. We'll be doing It. Welcome to Derry. Well, we'll have to figure out. We'll have to figure out one of those days because you look like you're busy one of those the premiere episodes. So we're gonna I don't know if that's a Monday or a Trassel. We'll figure that all out. But we will be covering it. And yeah, lots of good stuff. We have Tron Ares, we have Shelby Oaks, we got the Black Phone. Still hoping we get the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein, but I don't think so. We have this movie that's I can't remember. Oh, House of Dynamite. I'm excited to see it. It's a Netflix movie with Rebecca Ferguson. Supposed to be very good, but it's just like a political drama. We get that. Frankenstein, nowhere in sight. So, we'll see. But if it's not that, lots of good stuff in the feed. Side quests every week. Dylan's got a couple solo episodes coming out, so check that out. I got Traz Told You, some fun ones in the next little bit. And then I might do a bonus one this week. And then the gimmick will be in the next 2 weekends because we got some big episodes and shows to cover. We don't know the exact times and stuff, but just look out. Those usually are going to drop the next couple weekends. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. The most importantly is Extra Life, which I will talk about in a little bit. But tonight we're going to start off with the non-spoilers thoughts on Gen V Episode 6. Taylor, how you feeling so far? We're going in the last 2 episodes. You feeling good? Feeling worried? Feeling ho-hum? Where are you?
Feeling surprised at how short this episode was.
It was Peacemaker level short.
It was. It kind of caught me off guard. And so, yeah, I
Do you need me to take it?
Yeah, take it, please.
Taylor's posters getting ripped down. Yeah, what a shorter. I'd say this was, so I enjoyed this episode. Luckily, I'd have to rewatch it, but I think overall on the whole, I do enjoy Gen V Season 2 more because I do enjoy the whole boys and crazy stuff and everything. And that was the fun thing about the college stuff, but I think there were some episodes that just didn't exactly work. But I like that it's still pretty plot driven. I'll just say we got the characters we care about, I'd say, back together, which is good. I'm liking the trajectory they're going with them. And I feel like this was just a setup for the next 2 episodes because I feel like the penultimate's going to be a lot of stuff. And then the finale, I think the finale is going to be pretty big because maybe Amazon's already let them know, but we don't know for sure if this is the last episode or not, right? Whether it just ends and they're like, oh yeah, that is the end of the show. These characters are going to go into the boys or other stuff, or it just ends because like all the viewers weren't there, right? Or maybe it's season 3. We don't know. We'll cover that like on a newscast or something. But so that's what I think. I think this was a good episode, but it was and not bad setup. I enjoyed all the interactions. I enjoyed the reveals. I enjoyed the people that were coming in and out of it and stuff going on. We got some cameos. It's funny. Last week we were talking about a certain storyline. Like, how did that end? And literally in the recap this episode, they show it's like, oh right, there you go. So no, to me that's what it was. It was a calm before the storm where I think a lot of shit's gonna go down, but not in a bad way. I think there's some episodes, joking, but like Peacemaker, I've had that before where it's like, oh, it is kind of a calm before a storm, but really nothing happens. You could have done this in 5 minutes, where this feels like there is some things progressing, and yeah, some new doors opened, and yeah, everything's good. I think there's one storyline that I hope it doesn't go on for too long. I really have no interest in it. I get what they're doing. You kind of have to do those beats, but it is one of those situations where if one character maybe just talked to another, you could maybe put this kibosh on this issue, but there has to be drama. So it's like, all right. So, and it went different than I thought. I can say, because last week, if you're listening to this, you would have saw last week, and maybe people might be disappointed by this. I don't know. I thought last week, the way it's set up, I thought this week was going to be a very action-heavy episode with them trying to get out of the prison. Really wasn't. They got, minor spoilers, they got out of that prison very fast, and then it was on to the rest of the stuff. So I was thinking it was going to be an action episode, but really it was a lot of, okay, look at what's coming, where are these characters going, and yeah, so overall, another good episode. I hope, I will say that I think the show has just been good to very good overall. I don't know if I've had an episode where I'm like, oh wow, that's great, where that's something where, like, what the shows we're reviewing, oh, like, this is clear as Dexter. For Alien Earth, I'd say clear as Alien Earth. For Peacemaker, I would say that overall the season, I like Gen V more, but I think Peacemaker's had some stronger episodes. episodes. So I'm kind of hoping either the finale or penultimate episode have like that one episode of Gen V. And we're like, oh, I'm gonna remember this for a couple months where we are in TV land, but just something big and juicy, right? But overall, I think it's been a very good season. Other than we've kind of lost some stakes here and there. But Taylor, what do you think about this episode? Finally.
Yeah, I just think that as I said, it was shorter than expected, but it caught me off guard when they introduced a few things. They really do a good job at kind of cementing and reaffirming that, hey, this is in the boys universe, obviously, and that we're going to be introducing a few more heavy hitters here in the narrative so that you can be reminded that this is in
Right. I
the
kind of
boys
forgot
universe.
about that person too. So.
Yeah, but I couldn't agree more. The whole fight sequence with the prison, very short. I thought we were going to get something a little bit more blown up from that, but when we break that down in the spoiler part, it'll be kind of funny to just kind of nitpick it because it's just so freaking quick. And
like everything in the show, right? All the problems they get out of their problems really fast in Gen V. That's my biggest con for this show is it's very, very easy. Where I feel like boys, it's a little hard. I feel like the consequences go on for a little longer.
They do. And there's a few things in here that, particularly with Cypher, the moment they show him for the first time in this episode, I'm like, oh, I'm really surprised here at the reaction, which we'll break down in spoilers. Because I thought with the way things ended last week, they were setting something up specifically in a certain narrative. And
that theory you were talking about, we'll talk.
No, the theory stands. The theory stands. As soon
as
we break
with what
past
Cypher
the spoilers,
what he's doing.
Oh, it still stands.
Okay.
Oh, yes, it still stands. And
I'm
I'm going to break that.
Spoilers,
yeah,
course,
in spoilers. Yeah. But no, just like his plan though for Marie, I feel like how they did things in the last episode, and then where things ended up here. It's just I'm kind of confused, but. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to see where we're gonna go next episode, and I'm, they can't all be home runs. You gotta have a couple of ones
of course, yeah.
Sure.
You I guess so. There's a couple shows I'd say have some Dexter season 1 home run after home run, but rare cases. But yeah, there we go. Well, anything else on spoilers, Taylor?
Nope.
Well, there you go. So we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you've not seen the episode, come back after this ad break, and then we're going to break it down. And we're back. So obviously you could join Patreon to skip those ads and get a bunch of stuff. Right now we got The Shining on there. We got the comic versions, which is Predator versus Spider-Man, Black Panther, Wolverine. If you didn't know this, yes, Marvel Comics has done this. These episodes plus a bunch of other ones will go with that. But most importantly for the next month here, literally now, Taylor, we are a month away. It's October 8th, the time it's recording. November 8th, our 9th annual 24-hour stream for the BC Children's Hospital. Gonna be tons of fun. Like I said, after GV Day, I'm ready because we got to 1 a.m. I was starting to feel in the bones there, but that's a little different because we did a lot of podcasts that day, did some swimming, where this is going to be a lot of games and a lot of events. You can go down to the link below. That's where you can find out the events, some of the events. I think that's most of them, but there could be a couple other ones that sneak in. The events, the schedule, the unlock goals. Each goal's in a $500 increment, and you can see what you can unlock. Some of it's more new content for this next couple months. Some of it's just day of shenanigans. Me and Taylor could be in some gross Harry Potter jelly beans if you go a certain route. It's been a while since I've done that, so we'll put ourselves through that. But yeah, all the money goes towards BC Children's Hospital. You can donate. That is tax deductible. You could buy the Extra Life shirt, which is we got the Jurassic Park, Superman, and Fantastic Four. Those proceeds also go to Extra Life. And yeah, we'd appreciate if you could donate anything. And if you can't, just the day of, come watch, like the stream, share the stream. That stuff all helps because there's always someone that could donate that maybe is seeing us for the first time, which has happened multiple years. So we'd very much appreciate that because all these costs go directly towards BC Children's Hospital. They're for recovery, they're for surgeries, they're for just any patient care for the parents, yes, but more so for the kids and stuff. And yeah, we'd very appreciate it. And it's just a very, very fun day. It's even though we have December and November, it's still like I feel like it's like our year end. I feel like if we had seasons in Geekverse, like the season finale each year would be Extra Life, but it doesn't even matter because me and Taylor got it the next day, so that'll be a fun review. Taylor, we gotta get some sleep and then it. But here we're talking about Gen V. So Taylor, let's start with him because he was not actually in this episode this much. But explain to me, because you were talking with somebody, or explain to me this Cypher theory, because I had heard it and I agree with you, kind of mind blown. I do have a question in this episode of why said character would do this and what it would if it would go against that. But what is this theory right now that you have with Cypher?
Yeah, so cat like just talking to my coworker. My coworker's big on the show, and he looks at me when I walk into work. He's like, "Oh, so like, the like what they're doing here with Cipher, right?" And Thomas Godolkin, and I'm like, "What?"
Look at this.
It's like, well, and yeah. If you don't want to know what this theory is, like again, you can skip this spoiler and just go jump ahead a few
Well, it's
minutes. But
just a
if you want to
theory. It's
know,
not. It's not a. He's doesn't have. He doesn't. Your friend here is not in the know or
he's
anything,
not
right?
in the
Yeah.
know, but I think like it
He's just saying he
unlocked
cracked the
something
case.
in me. Then I was like, oh, the case is cracked. So we learned in this episode, obviously, that Thomas Godolkin is still alive. They never found the body. The body was burned in the fire. Yada yada yada. So here we can reaffirm. Okay, well, the body is here. It's in this sealed, airtight chamber. It's being manned by Cipher, and so my friend at work, he's like, yeah, so Cypher is just a body that's being mind controlled by the corpse, the burnt, charred corpse, which is Thomas Godolkin. And I'm thinking, holy crap, it makes perfect sense because you have Godolkin, who he's taking control of Cypher, and when Sister Sage was there, Sister Sage was having sex with Cypher, but was making
What?
strong eye contact with the burnt guy, and the burnt guy was just staring at him. And are staring at her, and then you've got Cypher injuring himself, like when he's talking to Polarity, and he just takes the knife and jabs it into his hand. It doesn't
Yeah.
care. Like it's just a body that's being controlled
It's a vessel.
by the main big baddie here, Thomas Godolkin, and so Cypher doesn't. And again, that's another thing too. Marie couldn't detect V in him, couldn't detect powers or whatever.
That's where I
going
thought
through
my
the-
theory is right. That I was a human because that's what
That's
I had
right.
for a while. Which I guess I still could be. The vessel
I
could
think
still be
that's
human.
still the vessel, yeah. So couldn't detect that he had powers, and yet he had powers. It's because he is a vessel and he's being controlled. And Thomas Godolkin is just fucking OP. It makes sense why he'd have such intense powers because he's just OG looking for god tier soups, right? So there's so many different things that are happening. And now that in this episode where you have Cypher doing the leg stretching and whatnot, I mean, his goal is to keep the body alive. That's his body. He's just a
Okay.
vessel in
So then,
Cypher's body.
in that stretching scene, why did he beat the shit out of that body? Then that's the only time I was like, I didn't think the theory was
Well,
wrong.
because he's mad. And here's another
But why
thing
not hit him?
too.
Why not? Why wouldn't Cipher? Why wouldn't Tadalkin or however you say his name sound like a fucking Street Fighter anime character? But like, why wouldn't he have him hit Cipher? Hit himself there? Why would he have him hit his own body that he's trying to heal up?
I think that this is in comparison to the scene where you see him making Polarity slap himself. Um, I think here you can see he could have hit himself. Yes, like he could have made
Right.
Cypher like hit the Cypher body, but I think they did this intentionally to show, like, why didn't he just do that towards his own, like to the burnt body? I'm trying to say this where it's not getting confusing. When you look at these two side by side, you see Cypher doing it to Polarity, and he's just waving his arm, making him do it. And then you see him physically doing it to the burnt body, which again indicates, okay, like he can't mind control himself. He's not mind controlling Godolka because he is that character, and he's doing it just
Yeah.
because
But then
he's
why wouldn't he just
mad.
hit him?
He,
Hit this vessel? Why wouldn't
because
he make the vessel himself?
he sees it's not a thing of like, oh, I'm just gonna hurt my vessel because I'm pissed off. It's a thing where he sees his body, he sees he's standing there doing these stretches and whatnot, and he's angry because the best chance he had at saving his body just disappeared because of plot armor and writing or whatever. It just Marie disappeared. So he's pissed and he sees his body, he sees his weakened state, and he's mad. He's like, that's why he's saying like, oh, you idiot, you failure, da, da, da. And he's like smacking his body because he's just upset with the state that he's in. So and that too, Marie escaping, that was all way, way, way too quick when I can't remember the chap's name, but he just shows up out of the blue after just kind of cutting them out last episode. So there's that. But
Sam, right?
Sam, thank you.
Yeah.
The thing I'll close upon here. Then you can talk about the theory. But when Marie escapes and finds Annabeth and is like, oh, Annabeth is bleeding out, saves Annabeth, and then it cuts to them escaping successfully. And then Cypher is pissed off about this and mad. Yeah, he starts slapping himself, as I'm going to put it. But what confuses me is, okay, did they just slit Annabeth's neck and just not expect them to escape and save her? Was that not part of the plan to push
I
her
thought it was
to
a
the
part of the
limit?
plan.
But then why would Cypher not have prepared better for that or be pissed that they actually escaped? Like, it's just, it's
Yeah, no,
peculiar.
Yeah, I agree with you. So the theory I actually do agree, other than the him hitting himself, I was throwing that in there, and I think that might be a way for them to just try to throw a red herring. But all of it lines up. It almost to the point where I'm not going to be mad if it's not that, but it's one of those cases where it is tough where you hear like a better theory for what actually ends up happening, which obviously we just went through Dex Resurrection, right? And there we had a lot of those where there was good theories and they didn't end up being true. It was X, Y, and Z, and then we got some mess stuff. So just because there's good theories out there doesn't mean that's the case. So, oh, hang on, I get some neck cracks there. But yeah, I think that theory's true. And then I think that's the problem with the show is like, okay, so because even Maria says that, right? Well, that's what Cypher wanted me to do was her to die. He killed her so I could save her, right? And unlock the powers because that'd be the most compromised emotional state she could be, right? And we see that all the time in X-Men, in this, and other superhero stuff where it's always like when someone is at their peak emotional, whether it's rage or just anger, that's when their powers just disperse out of their body, right? But to your point, it's like, then why wasn't there a SWAT team or any, why wasn't Viking guy outside this jail waiting for them there, right? And I guess you could say like, okay, Sam was the wrinkle into that, but I just feel like one, they didn't prepare for anybody else coming. Like they never thought that maybe Polarity or even Sam or just they might have a friend on the outside that might help them because he's already right away he phones like that girl that's helping them, right? The girl that's pretending to be anti-Starlighter. He tricked him. He had Polarity phone her. Remember that girl? And she gave the
Yeah.
location up. So it's like he knows that they have other friendlies out there. So it's like not out of the realm of possibility someone would get them. So one, it's like, okay, I guess that could be the case, but why do you think of that? And then even two, it's like in this facility, why is there not anybody around on the outside? So I
And they
agree with
kept
you.
making a point last episode. Jordan's like, "There's no one here. This is suspicious." It's like, well, again, they're intentionally letting them escape.
Yeah, and that's where, but it didn't seem like that after the fact, right? Because it was intentional. I feel like Cipher would know exactly where they are, or have like a tracker on them, or something, right? Even then, why don't any of these characters have a tracker on them? Don't they like they put collars on them? Didn't is there no one like shooting them with like a little like USB stick or something? You know. So again, I think that's what happens with the show is they do some big things, but they get out of it very easy just to kind of progress the plot. So I do think that is still the weakest part of this show, and it just continues to happen multiple times, and that does take down the score for me quite a bit, almost like a point 0.5, maybe not each time, but just little nicks here and there where it's like again and again. So we'll have to see what happens with the finale, but the same thing, if this finale ends on like a big cliffhanger, I'm not going to be rock and be like, oh my God, how are they going to get out of it? Because season 3 might pick up and they might just like that get out of it. Even in this, right? This happens and he calls Cypher, he gets on the phone or he gets, does he talk to, no, he says to Polarity, he's like, yeah, what a, or wait, did he talk to Maria at one point? When he was doing this pitch
Mm,
about all the, maybe it was just Polarity, maybe I'm misremembering stuff, but he was making the pitch about, hey, if you come back, I'll let all your friends go. If you train me, they can go, run away, do whatever. Was that with, was he saying that to Polarity or did he talk to Maria at all?
oh my goodness. I don't think he talked to Marie. I think it
I
was
don't
just
think so, but
polarity.
in my head it felt like that. But either
Yeah.
way, that was his pitch, right? So again, them breaking out, doing all this stuff, going in the prison, like for a second time now, it's like we put you in this prison, but if you just come work with me, everything's all good, and you guys go back to your normal lives. So it's like it was weird because a couple, I guess it was last week when Sister Sage said that of you can't do it this way, it's not going to work, and he said, oh, we're going to do it differently this time. Not really. The thing is, you put them in prison, they escape, and they go, okay, this is the really last warning though this time, and they get out of it, right? So it is again, it's tough because I like Hamish Linklater. I like that character, but it's just they feel like a very easy beatable kind of boss right now, you know. So, but we'll see. I hope that theory is true, and I hope we learn about it. But yeah, in this episode we were talking about, or I guess last episode to go into this episode, we were talking about Victoria Newman because we are trying to figure out who killed her. And I still can't remember the full context of why Billy Butcher did that. I couldn't remember if it was out of his control or what. But yeah, she died, and now her daughter
I think it's out of his control because I was reading into it and it's
like
just like
snapped or
a
something,
con
right?
like the tumor is sentient, so it can take
Yeah.
control of him.
Because I thought there's a couple times because I did not love that season. I think we both kind of had it as the weakest, but I thought there was a couple storyline times where they made it almost like the Hulk, where he would like wake up and not know what happened, right, Butcher, with everything that's happening with the stuff that's in him. So I think that's one thing. But yeah, so she's there with Giancarlo Esposito, and I get a character that I'm kind of like Kate. I'm hoping that he is now pretty much on the good side. Like it's tough because obviously he was like working with Vault for a long time and doing shady stuff, but it always felt like he wasn't trying to do good stuff, but I felt like he was going toe to toe with Homelander and other characters. But right now it seems like because even that case where Maria's like, hey, if you don't, if it's either me and my friends or nothing, he's like, all right, fine. And of course that's what he wants, but he didn't seem like super sinister when he was like, fine. Like it seemed like he was somewhat understanding, not in the way that he was thrilled about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's gonna be fucking skipping in a good guy. Like I still think he could do questionable stuff, but it's the same way as like Butcher and even the little boys characters do questionable things, but they're still trying to fight for the I'd say the good side, right? Or the anti-evil soup side. So
Hmm.
I'm hoping that's the case, but at the same point, my instincts tell him that he's going to betray us at some point and do something, or for his greater good. But he is pounding around with us here, and I wonder if he and the daughter, if they know that Billy Butcher's the one that killed his mom, because that's the other thing where
I don't think they do.
not yet, though, right? I feel like
Not
they'll
yet.
know at
Not
some
yet.
point, and that's where it's like the same thing where he could be on our side, but he's gonna learn that information that
Well,
he's
the
against
daughter
our
was
heroes, right?
there, wasn't that right? And she was
Didn't
there,
she
and she
see
got
it
like,
though?
I thought she did because she got like knocked out to the side. I thought like
That's what I
they
mean. When
were
she knocked out
there.
unconscious.
She was there with the mom, and then there was the bodyguard there with the mom, and then Butcher's like tentacle thing, its tumor came out and like knocked, like grabbed the mom, and then I thought the daughter like charged at him to like attack, and then she got knocked off, and then knows
Hmm.
that the mom died. So I mean, you'd have to assume it was Butcher, I would think.
Yeah, so then they might know, and that's what might put them across for um like are the bad guys, right? So
Yes, yeah.
yeah. Anything? Sorry, I didn't throw to you. Anything to say on the daughter being in there and Esposito? She made the saves. Obviously, the heroes were under some trouble, and then she made the save with her really weird fucking powers. So
I I again, he's just every time I see him, I feel like he's always just the same cold, calculated character in the way he talks and presents himself. But man, I would eat a fucking frittata that he were to make any day. He was just cooking in that kitchen. I was like, I just want to join him for a good meal. And I love how he's talking like he paid all this money so that he could learn how to cook, and rarely he gets to demonstrate that when he with people, which is really really funny. But yeah, no, I dig it. I dig that a lot, and I'm happy that he's here because he definitely adds a whole aesthetic and a whole vibe to it. But I mean, we had him in the one episode. Is he gonna come back next week? I probably not. Probably be the one after. So we'll
yeah, I
have
think so.
to
Yeah.
see.
Well, I guess it depends though, because we don't know. Like, they could have some flashes to the characters, because obviously just Maria and Kate left, right? So
Yes,
they could,
yeah,
am I saying is it Maria or It's just Marie, actually, right?
Marie,
Yeah, it's just
Marie.
Maria. I was saying it wrong a couple times. Sorry, but yeah, no, I think there's a chance he could be in both episodes. Definitely the finale, but he could be in both. So we'll see what happens there. And then in that segment, yeah, and that's the only thing other than what we talk about with some of the stakes. Um, I get what they're doing, but the whole Marie and her sister not getting along and fighting and stuff, I get it. It's just kind of tropey where I know where we're gonna go with this, where eventually she's gonna understand her, and then they're gonna be friends, and they're gonna try to get a relationship going. I just wish, to me, it's such the easiest thing of, hey, I have these powers because our parents get like signed off to do experiments on me. That's one, and then two, my powers popped up because she said she got a period and she didn't know what was going on. That's not her fault. It's like anytime you like, obviously it's tragic and sad, but to me that's just like in this world now with all these things going on. It would have been just like last couple weeks ago if oh god, what's the, I always forget them, the they them, what's their
Jordan.
name? Jordan. Like if he killed Marie, that would have been the same thing, right? That they didn't kill Marie, they were possessed. And not
Yeah.
saying she was possessed, but kind of the same way where her powers just popped up and she had no idea. Her parents didn't prep her, didn't tell her anything. So I just, I know that conversation's coming, or some other character's gonna be like, you know what really happened, right? So I kind of wish there was like a scene or two of some tension, and then in this episode it would have been, hey, I'm gonna tell you what happened, and then let's get that. I'm not saying they need to be buddy buddy right away, but just like, you ruined my life, and everything bad that happens is because of you. It's like, no, it's because of Vought, and it's because of all this stuff. Like, it's a storyline that I really hope doesn't going for too long, because I have no interest, like, unless they do something where for some reason, which I feel like they kind of blew their load last year, if the sister were to join Vought, right, and go against her, but it's like they kind of did that with Sam and Kate. last season, and they're kind of already walking that back. So it's like, okay, we've seen that storyline of friends we know join the bad guys and then redeem themselves. So I don't know. It's not that they're bad acting or anything like that. It's still written if not fine. It's just a trope that I just feel like we see so much and we know where it's going. So I don't really have much interest in the storyline of I never want to see you again, that type of stuff. But how you feeling? The other thing too, they revealed that the soup is, or she's a soup and she's a precog, so she can some. Obviously, her powers are very light right now, but she can sometimes see into the future. Seems like only like a few seconds. Obviously maybe that could change in the
Hmm.
future. Maybe she'll see more. But right now, it feels like it's like a 5 to 10 second delay where she'll see something coming and then it happens. But yeah, what do you think about the sister character, the sister woes, the trouble, her being a soup now, all that stuff?
I mean, it totally makes sense with her having powers, and I mean, I'm imagining she probably kept it very secret from her parents too, while her parents were alive at the time. They wanted no one to know about it. So very different power from Marie. But yeah, I like it. I like that she is a soup. I like that that's going to be kind of the dynamic here moving forward with her and Marie, and just kind of
Which though, even though because she's a soup, shouldn't she almost be more understanding of Marine's situation? That's the other thing too, where I feel like
she
she knows
should,
how
but
she can control her powers,
well, yes,
right?
yes, but it's a very different power, right? Where she's just, and she
Yeah,
gets
but she
something
can't
she
control it.
suppressed. It's something she suppressed too, as best as she could, and she doesn't have that sympathy relation because her power didn't kill, her parents, or maybe she
Yeah.
just resents Marie that much more because maybe at the time she had a precognitive moment where she saw Marie kill her parents, and then she had to actually see it happen next, like in real time. So I don't know, just you kill the parents. That's a big one. But I like that Annabeth has powers. I think it's going to be very interesting. I like when Viking Man was attacking, and her and Emma and Kate were all in the back room of the library, and Annabeth is like, "Aren't you guys soups? Like, what are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we can't really do anything here."
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing talking with Emma. So we had Sam, which I was happy because last week I said, oh, I thought they were setting up for Sam to make the save, and he did. He just did it this week where he drove through the wall of the van, got them out of here. He seems like we'll see what happens with it. But when he's talking to them, he's like, "Yeah, I'm on new medication now. I'm doing better." It's just like, well, that was sure easy. We went from Kate suppressing like his like bad visions to not knowing what he's going to do next, and he hit his dad last week to I got some new drugs. I'm all good. It's like, oh, that easy, hey? I just like the you didn't try anything else. So I kind of hope it's something that maybe this is like a short term thing where it's working, and then it decides like it only nullifies it for a bit, then it doesn't work, and he has his episodes. Because if this going forward, Sam's just like, oh, I got to atone for the bad stuff I did, and he's just kind of good unless he doesn't have drugs. Again, very easy fix for the show, and they were especially last season kind of making it to be a basket case, right? Of like you can never really trust what he was going to do, and he did the same thing as the Butcher thing or the Hulk thing we talked about, where he would do attacks and wake up and everyone would be dead, and he'd have no idea. So felt that was kind of easy, but I do like the route they're taking with Emma, where who knows who Emma's going to date for a little bit, but I feel like these characters at some point are going to end up back together when everything's right. They even talked about
Yeah.
that because it seemed like he was wanting that, but kind of said like, oh, when the time's right.
Or he
And,
dies. I could see him
yeah, or he
dying, and
dies.
Emma
Yeah,
doesn't get that satisfaction of reconnecting with him or being with him.
yeah, it has to be him because it can't be her. I feel like if you kill her, you hurt the show a lot. Where Sam,
Hmm.
I like the character, but I don't know. That is a good suggestion because I don't know what because he can even do a sacrifice play. Don't know what the story is for him going forward now, right? Because obviously it was to find all the stuff with his brother last season to get out, take it to Vought. Then he turned bad with Kate's help a little bit, but then after he broke away from that, he had the
Made peace
full.
with his parents.
Yeah, he had the full circle go home, see everything, talk with them. He's made good with Emma, even though he said, "Oh yeah, Kate's a bad person." He still went and helped to save her, and now that's what I mean. That's where I thought, okay, he's a fun guy to have on the team because yeah, he's there to save you, but you don't know he could snap at any time. But now if he's just like, "Oh, I'm all good now, I'm working through it," it's like, well, that kind of takes the loose cannon Hulk explosive element away. So that's where it's like, yeah, what else can you have this character do right other than maybe just try and get Emma back? I'm not sure. So I still don't know if they would kill him off yet because I still think because they lost that character already this season. I don't know if they want to lose another character right now, but maybe in the future. And I did kind of like his jokes going on with bugging Emma about the guy. So and again, that's what I liked in the obviously much different situation of just a love interest, but that wasn't a thing. Like, who's this guy? Oh, I guess you're talking. It was like almost like a joke, right? Like he has no right to really be mean jealous about it. He's kind of like you can tell he's jealous, but he's kind of like, oh, we should mess. Like he's messing with her a bit. So that's what I like. That clearly there's a connection, but we don't have a whole 20-minute plot line of like I thought we were something special. It's like they clearly are moved on a little bit, even though there's still some feelings there. But so
Hmm.
do you think Sam would die this season, or do you think he'll make it out this
I
year?
think he would die this season. I think
Really,
they
they're
would
gonna
kind
do
of
two
toss him.
characters.
I think so. I think at the end,
Wow.
they're gonna have to make a sacrifice play or something like that. It's gonna further Emma's development along much more in the narrative. So I think it fits.
Okay. Let's see. We talked about those guys. Yeah, we talked about Cypher. We didn't see Sister Sage again, so I'm wondering if we're gonna see her at all again this season. I'm kind of hoping at least for the finale, maybe. But we'll see there. What is there anything else? Polarity is still just yeah, that's another story that I wanted a little bit more fleshed out. Where, because remember we talked about, hey, or at least I had the issue of his son dies and he comes back to school. Seems like there's not much hubbubaloo. They're just like, yeah, you're welcome back, right? But then they did have given that scene with Cypher, and he was acting very suspicious, and Cypher called him out. But it didn't seem like a full like Cypher knew he was trying to get some information, but it didn't seem like a full like you're a bad guy now. Where now he just knows like, oh, you're working with those people, and I can't trust you, and da, da, da. So I don't know, that to me is more a character. If I had to pick a character that would sacrifice himself, I feel like Polarity would be that because they like they, they already have like a condition, right? They're already on the way. And once you do season 2 of him kind of maybe giving his son vengeance, I don't know what more you could do. And I guess I would say too, we forgot to talk about that, where the idea between Kate or Marie healing her sister to bring her back alive. The idea is that Cypher said this to Polarity that they could use her powers to heal him. He doesn't really believe it, doesn't really trust it. But then Kate also went to that conclusion at the end of the episode, saying, "Hey, you could heal my powers, and then we could take down Cypher together." Do you think that's something now? Because Marie walks away. I guess there's two things to ask you. One, who do you think's gonna happen with Polarity now that Cypher just knows he's fully on the good team or the opposing team? And then with at the end when Marie decides to leave everybody and Kate follows, do you take that as they're going to go somewhere else in the next episode? Marie is going to give her powers back and fix it, or do you think Marie is not giving her powers back because she doesn't trust Kate with her full power set?
She's gonna give her powers back. I
Yeah,
think Kate made a full, uh, realistic, logical point. I think Kate is like a counter to Cypher's powers. They both share similar, super abilities, right? Like, and I think there's a whole. It's interesting to see in this show compared to the boys the relations between these characters, whether it's Victoria Newman and Marie, or now it's Cypher and Kate. But these characters, they are like the younger versions that have the same powers, right, or at least similar ones. So
yeah.
yeah.
And then what about Polarity? What's his fate this season right now? In 2 episodes left.
I don't know, because like he's just having seizures and he's not doing so well. But then it's like he dishes out some new power, and it's. I think that's another interesting thing, is because you have Cypher trying to control him and like do like his hand thing, but it's like his connection to using Cypher as a vessel was like disrupted. And again,
Hmm.
polarities, he was outsourcing like his energy or whatever, and I think he disrupted the signal. So Cypher, like Godolkin, wasn't able to kind of tune in and control Cypher's hand to make him
Yeah.
smack himself or whatever.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. Is there anything else we haven't touched upon? Any characters? Any plot lines?
Um.
Jordan's kind of scared
mm,
of Maria a little bit. Just not scared of her, but just scared of now knowing what the power set of is. Just kind of, Marie says nothing's going to change, but Jordan's completely right. Where this power, like I feel like people want her, whether it's Cipher or anybody, even the boys, like you'd want her on her team. So I think that, and again, it wasn't like a fight. It was her being worried, but it was just that to me felt genuine. Of oh yeah, this is like this does change everything, and you having a power where you could literally potentially resurrect someone. I'm sure it's still to be like right close to when they die, but still the fact you could do that at all, that does could pose a bad fate for everyone, including Jordan. So.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I can't think of anything else though.
Okay. Well, there we go. So that is it. We'll be back next week for the penultimate episode. I think just that, right? Yeah, just that, and then yeah, because we got some other stuff going on next week, but that doesn't interfere with this. So yeah, we'll be back next week talking about the penultimate episode, episode 7, and I promise you, it'll not be boring.